Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Uh, no videos all week, yet again, and it's been a very productive week. I actually made a video yesterday and I decided to hang on to it for a little while for various reasons. I'll probably post it next week. I'm hoping to do a Attic Find Friday tomorrow, but again, this is my busiest time of the year for work, and had a sick 15-year-old home the last couple days, and snow, needing to snow blow. It's been busy. I also have a big mail day, lots of stuff, big one, and just a bunch of stuff, plus birthday gifts and things like that. So I don't know which one I'll do tomorrow, but I'm going to jump into the next 5 of my Attainable Collection of Envy 100. And I have 3 of these cards, which I love. I love it when I actually have some of the cards that I'm discussing. And we're going to start with number 44. And as I was doing this, I was thinking, why do I have Kobe Bryant here and LeBron James a little bit higher? You'll see LeBron coming up in the near future. First of all, I don't like either of them. As a Celtics fan, I think it's probably illegal to like Kobe or LeBron. But I think that Kobe was cooler than LeBron, even though he was more of a jerk and had some credible allegations against him. Uh, I liked Kobe more, even though I hated him. as a basketball fan and a Celtics fan, I don't know why I've got LeBron up higher. Doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal. But I have his 1996 Topps card. Ideally, I would have the Chrome, and I believe the 96 Topps Chrome basketball has some greening issues where the cards will turn green over time, if I remember correctly. I would love to have the Chrome. It's just not something I need to spend up for. But that's the card that I have chosen. I'm just showing my top. It's the same exact card. It's just not Chrome. There are 7,000 in the PSA population, roughly, of the Chrome Kobe card. And that's just the base one. That's just not a refractor or anything like that. We all know Kobe's background. The most impressive thing for me for Kobe is 12-time all defensive player, all defensive team. He was not only the best scorer of his era, or among the best scorers, he was also one of the best defenders, which is impressive. He won 5 championships, 3 of them with Shaq, 2 of them with Pau Gasol. One of the greatest of all time, certainly not the greatest because, as we all know and can agree, that was Michael Jordan. A PSA 6 of the Topps Chrome goes for about $450. A 9 goes for about $2,000. And so I have to decide, do I want to spend $450 for a 6 for Kobe, or do I want to spend whatever I spent on this, like $60 or $70 for a really nice raw copy that I'll get graded and it'll probably come back a 7 or an 8 of the paper Topps? I'm sticking with this. Someday maybe I'll have one, but it's just not a priority for me to have the Chrome. Let me know what you think. Now, this series is sponsored by the Penny Sleever. As you can see, I have the Kobe in a Penny Sleever semi-rigid. Can't even think of what they're called. You can get the Penny Sleever supplies, which are the best in the industry, in my opinion. 10% off your first order at thepennysleever.com using my code JWH. The link is in the description to this video, or you can just go to thepennysleever.com. You can get top loaders, semi-rigids, penny sleeves, one-touches. He's adding new products at some point in the semi-near future that I'm very excited about. So, number 43 is the 1933 Sport Kings Jim Thorpe. This is an amazing card of an amazing athlete, one of the all-time great athletes. In fact, the Associated Press named him the best athlete of the first half of the 20th century, and then the number 3 athlete of the entire century. So that's pretty good, not too bad. He was the first Native American gold medalist for the USA in the Olympics. The team won 2 gold medals in 1912 Olympics. He was a pro football player, pro basketball player, and pro baseball player. You just don't see that ever. Didn't back then either. at least not much. So that's pretty remarkable. He can get his PSA 1. The last few, it's pretty rare. There's only about 400 of them, but the last few have sold for around $1,200. But a 1.5 sold for $2,600. So with this kind of population, the difference between a 1 and a 1.5 is eye appeal, and the 1.5 is often going to sell for much, much more. And I would be going for whatever I could get on this. I would take a 1 happily, but obviously I'd want really good centering. Number 42, and I may have broken my rule here on Attainable on this one. I wanted to put in a 19th century card because I didn't have a single 19th century card. So I asked the expert, Orlando of A Collector's Dream. Orlando told me to go with 1888 Goodwin Champs N162 Cap Anson, which is an absolutely stunning card. I had been aware of the card before Orlando mentioned it to me, but I never would have known what card to go with. Cap Anson played 27, still a record, I think, 27 consecutive seasons. He was considered to be the first baseball superstar, one of the greatest baseball players of his era. He was the first, believed to be the first, to have 3,000 career hits. He was 4-time batting champ, 8-time RBI champ. Now, on the negative side, he is believed to have been one of the catalysts for segregation in baseball. He refused to take the field when black players were on the opposing team. So, yeah, there's an amazing baseball player, but that's obviously not great. There are only 80 of these cards graded by PSA, and when I first did this, I'm pretty sure, and I remember I created this list a little over a year ago, pretty sure I found one that had recently sold for under $5,000, and that's why I included it in my list. I can't find that one now. They are selling for like a 1 or an authentic for a little over $5,000, sometimes even around $10,000. So this may have broken my rule of it being attainable. Still one I would love to have at some point. Number 41. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to mention a commenter this morning just commented that I used Cristiano Ronaldo twice in my list, number 77 and number 53. I don't know how I never noticed this and how nobody ever noticed this. I had precautions in place in my list to prevent this from happening, but in one of them I typed in Cristiano Ronaldo, and in another one I just typed in Ronaldo. So my precautions didn't catch it because they didn't match. I should know better, having worked in data for 15 plus years, but that's okay. I will think of something to do. I might just take one of my honorary, with whatever, one of the ones that just missed out on the list, and make it number 100 and then bump the rest up, removing maybe removing 77 and leaving him at 53. I'm not sure. Let me know in comments what you think I should do about that. Number 41 is, in my opinion, maybe the most beautiful baseball card in history. Friend Oliver said it makes him look like a superhero. The way they have the angle of this card, the red and the blue, and just a stunning, stunning card. It's my favorite card of all time. And this is, as you can see, not my ideal centering. I prefer much better centering. But for this card, with this amazing front, the face of this card, I got it for only $550 because of the back. The paper loss, which if you know me, you know paper loss doesn't really mean much to me on the back. But look at that thing. Stunning. And you can get this card for easily under $1,000. I shouldn't say easily, but it's one of the greatest cards out there. We all know Ted Williams' history. He's one of the all-time greats, even though he missed 5 almost full seasons, 3 full seasons, and then most of 2 seasons to war, to 2 different wars, World War II and the Korean War. Fighter pilot. Joe Posnanski many years ago did an analysis of what if he had actually played those 5 seasons. How many home runs would he have had? How many RBI hits? And it was a staggering total. If he had just been his average self during that time, just imagine. But he was always overshadowed by DiMaggio and then Mantle, because those guys played for the Yankees, and the Yankees were more popular and they were winning more, and the Red Sox never put a winning team on the field during Ted Williams' career. In fact, during DiMaggio's 56-game streak, Ted Williams had a better batting average for that entire season than DiMaggio had for that 56-game stretch. Last batter to hit over 400, he hit 406 in 1941. So amazing. I didn't even need to take notes on Ted Williams because he's one of the all-time greats, one of my all-time favorites, even though I have that history of having met him at a Kmart in Brunswick, Maine, and it was a bad experience. But love Ted, all-time great, with one of the all-time great cards. Speaking of all-time greats, we have number 40, 1970 Topps, Pete Maravich. Maravich, and this is 1970 Topps is unlicensed. You can see there's no name on the jersey, no team name. It just says Atlanta. But it is highly sought after. There were no other options back then other than Topps. And the color is great. The size is not, but that's okay. Pete Maravich averaged 44 points a game in college, all 3 of his seasons in college. One of the greatest college careers in history. It wasn't that great in the NBA, but he was still good. He made the Hall of Fame, obviously, but the Hall of Fame in baseball and basketball has a lot to do with what you've done in your entire basketball career, not just in the NBA. But you got to wonder, he made 44 points per game he averaged in college without a three-point line. The three-point line didn't arrive until I think his last season in the NBA, and he shot like 68% from 3 on very limited, very small sample size. But still, you have to wonder, what would he have done with his career if he had been able to shoot 3-pointers? How many would he have made? That's it. I love these players. Well, except for Kobe. Hope you guys enjoy this series. I am down into the top 40 now, which is exciting. And I will hope to see you again tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day.